Welcome to another CEO Wisdom Pod with Karim Boktor. With us today, he's CEO and founder at the Business and Life Coach. We're going to talk about hypnotherapy. Today, we're going to talk about startups. We're going to talk about VC and everything in between. This pod is brought to you by podbar.com. If you want to start or scale your own podcast, monetize it, and talk to a bunch of cool people like Karim, you can go to podbar.com. Karim, welcome to the pod. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what you're up to nowadays.
So my name is Karim Boktor. I'm the founder of the Boktor Method. I'm a business hypnotherapist. What I found is that the problem in business wasn't so much business or strategy. So when companies want to expand their business, prior to doing this, I was a business consultant and I was coming into businesses, but the problem wasn't the strategy or the marketing. That's a very short-sighted view. And I was constantly going back to the businesses with the same problem. So I had to adopt a newer, fresher look. And it was addressing the person that was behind the vehicle, the founder or the CEO that was making those decisions and why they were making those decisions. And that's why I founded and created the Boktor Method.
You started in pharma, then in medicine, then you owned a cafe, an IGA, as we say it in Quebec, Canada, where I'm from. We've got a bunch of IGAs. Tell us about that journey before you became a coach.
So yeah, man, I was in pharma. So before even pharma, I was a massage therapist. I had my own massage business at a doctor's clinic. And I would find these representatives coming into the doctors. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this is a really cool job. This is something that I want to get into. Little did I know that I needed a degree. I didn't have a degree at the time. So I interviewed for 3 years for a pharmaceutical role. And I was told no until 3 years later. Australia's largest pharmaceutical company said yes. They gave me the chance. I ended up being one of the highest performers. I grew within the business. The next step for me then was to go into medical devices. So being inside surgery with surgeons, coaching them on how to use our products. It was a very surreal moment that I was inside surgery with with another doctor. Um, I grew the business as well. I did really well, but I could see how stressed the doctors were, and that was something that really played on my mind. That they would come in, they're amazing people, but they were just always stressed. And then I thought to myself, I wanted to do something on my own again. So I went back and I started up my own cafe. And when I settled the business was the same week that my son was born. I didn't know what I was in for. So the problem is that as a new father, I didn't know what to expect. My son had colic. So for those of you that don't know, colic is when the baby has really bad pains in their stomach. And my son was waking up every 20 to 30 minutes. And what that meant was I was going into work on the back foot. I was anxious. I was depressed. I couldn't think properly. And because of that, my business was going down. It was crashing. And no matter what things I implemented in the business, and I was so confident, right? I had my MBA then. I did businesses in the past. I was so confident, but no matter what I did, nothing could work. And what I quickly realized is that the problem was within me. And then I went down the path of personal development. And I started learning things like NLP, hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, Dr. Demartini method, just for my own personal development. And what I realized is that when I learned all this stuff, my business started to increase again. And then I understood, oh my gosh, this is something that they don't teach you at school. They don't teach you at MBA school, right? Where they just teach you numbers and they just teach you strategy and all that kind of thing, but they totally disregard the human element. And I sold the cafe. We did really well, sold it, and I went back to studying human behavior, and I created a product which incorporates all those really cool things that I've learned. I took all the really good bits from each thing, and I called it the Boktor Method. And now I'm helping out business owners and founders all over the world with their businesses and for them as well.
Who do you target precisely in founders and CEOs? I talk with a bunch of CEOs as well, and not all of them are obsessed with performances. So, like, give me a bit of psychometrics of your ideal clients.
So my ideal clients, yeah, founders, CEOs, and then after I deal with them, because they're at the top of the food chain, I help the leadership team. So I create another version of the CEOs. So my typical person is that, look, not all people like to take ownership of why the business isn't working. So this isn't for everyone. This is only for the people, for the 1%, those people that are striving to be better, no matter the cost. They're wanting to say to me, Karim, I really want to succeed at all costs. Tell me what more I could do to really understand how I could really grow this business. Because looking internally is probably one of the hardest things that someone can do. They would rather spend, tens of thousands of dollars on a marketing campaign rather than take accountability and take responsibility for their own actions about why things are not working. So those are the other people there, the elite 1% that really want to do best for their people and for their business.
What are you struggling with nowadays?
I think selling the concept. Because I'm not going in there and selling, hey, I'm an accountant or I'm a doctor, and they sort of understand what I'm talking about. It's selling the concept of, hey, what I do is totally different. So, I really have to build up that relationship. I really have to educate people on what I do. And it's only few that really understand and get and resonate with then thinking, oh my gosh, yes, I need this. You're totally 100% right. This is something that I've not even looked at. This is something that I've not addressed. Yeah. So yeah.
I'm in cold email, and as soon as we use the word coach, it seems that people tune out. So you're right on that one.
Yes.
Then, how can we have people open it an intimate door of them to you, like a pure stranger, maybe seeing some video content and trying so many pain points that at some points it resonates? And then, what does the discovery call look like with you?
Yeah. So I'm trying to move. I mean, you're right. As soon as they hear coach, they totally blank out. People wake up one day and they call themselves a coach, and they give the industry a really bad name. There's no credentials, there's no credibility, there's no experience. I'm trying to steer away from that and become more. So I'm calling myself a business hypnotherapist slash mentor. So I'm trying to steer away from that coach. Probably even rebranding myself. So I'm stepping away from the business and life coach and becoming just karimboktor.com. My my first meetings are a half an hour. They're free, and what it consists of is telling me what's going on in business, and if I can understand and break down what the problem is and reflect that problem back to them and say, well, as you can see, your problem is not a strategy or a marketing problem. It's a deeper problem. It's a you problem. And then there's a big light bulb moment. And this is the moment where they think, okay, well, this is something that I need to address. Or, Karim, I'm not ready to talk about this. I'm ready to close my eyes to the problem. But thank you, but no thanks. Yeah.
I guess people that have self honesty and self respect, they'll come to the conclusion that yes, they're the problem. And at that point, it becomes like, is it really a priority for me, this business to be successful? Is it a priority for me for this business to be successful? That is. I want to ask, what are common challenges or traumas or misbehaviors that you see in CEOs and founders? What are some case studies of people that you've taken from 0 to 1 or 1 to 10?
Um, my most common ones are people that know that they've had trauma from the past and it's really affecting their business today. So people with PTSD, people with anxiety, people with depression, people that are dependent on substances like either medicine or alcohol or drugs or anything like this. But also people that are just, they feel stuck. They don't know how to get to, like, they're running in first gear. These are the people that I'm seeing at the moment, is that they're running, the business is in first gear, and they seem, they can't get to the next gear. So they come always back to the same patterns of behavior. People leaving, hiring, and they just don't know how to get to the next gear. These are the types of people, but they want a true and fast solution. They want someone who understands business, and they want someone who understands how to break that behavior too.
So tell me about the Boktor method. And is it like no bullshit, just understanding business and themselves, asking questions and finding out insights and suggesting potential solutions? What is it about?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. It's a total no bullshit, no BS approach. I tell it how it is. And what it is, it's a way of breaking through the reprogramming of your mind. So as I mentioned earlier, I've learned and practiced these really cool modalities in NLP, which Tony Robbins is famous for. I've learned timeline therapy, which was created by Dr. Tad James. I've worked under John Demartini, so I'm a method facilitator of his. They were all really good, and usually the person will learn one of these and stick to that, like, modality. But they were all good, but they weren't perfect. They weren't great. And what I learned is that I was able to extract the good things from all these different ones and create my own method. So it's a way of reprogramming people. So the Boktor method is a way of reprogramming people's minds subconsciously in a matter of hours. Yeah, delivering it through hypnotherapy.
What are your top goals for this year?
My top goals is to serve more people. There are so many more struggling entrepreneurs, business people out there that I'm really wanting to serve as well. Really getting my name out there and really letting them know that there is a solution. Every person that I come to, they're like, Karim, I've seen so many people. I've seen business coaches, I've seen therapists, I've seen this person or that person, but my business is not thriving. I can't get to that next level. This is where I want to go. I really want to get my name out there and really let people know that there is a solution.
Do you often see folks with the imposter syndrome? How do you fix that?
Yeah, this is one of, imposter syndrome, people who self-sabotage, procrastinators. I use the Boktor method. Yep. So once we identify what is actually going on, in the first session is called Finding Your Blind Spot. We talk in depth, really uncovering what is the problem. Once we identify the problem, we use the Boktor method to reprogram and get people to believe in themselves, increase their confidence, and they become like a totally new person.
Tell me about the hypnotherapy part. How does that work? Do you use the little halo behind you to hypnotize people?
So that little halo, what I've done is it really helps people get into states quickly without them even knowing. So
Yeah,
I'm
it
talking
worked
to you
with me.
now.
Yeah, it worked with me because I looked
Yeah,
at it. It was like it's very relaxing.
yeah, yeah. So it's just a simple thing. People don't really, but they look at it and they're like, "Is that color changing? What's happening at the back?" And it puts them into a hypnotic state quickly while we're just even talking, without me even going to hypno. And what I use is I call a rapid induction, which means that I help people get into a light trance. So it's not like what you see on TV. It's not like, I help I take control of the situation. It's it's in a light trance, like me and you talking right now. You're totally in control, but you've got your eyes closed. Yeah. So it's not like I'm gonna make you cluck like a chicken, or make you send over all your all your money to me, or all that kind of. I've heard it all. It's nothing like that. So it's a really cool, fun, yeah, cool way of getting inside and really understanding what's actually blocking or holding you back.
Yeah, it's fascinating, the human machine, everything that it suggests to itself. It's like, oh, I'm in this suggested state now, and then it repeats that again and again and again. And before you know it, the cortisol drops, the guard drops, and that's what you need to get in.
Yeah, yeah. So what I do with the reason why it works so well is that I bypass the critical faculty. It's the area of the mind where it tells you, well, like you need to stop because of past beliefs and past values, So I'm able to get in there and yeah, and really embed and reprogram that part that has been holding you back.
And then is it like a one and up fix? For example, if I have something with wealth, like a wealth trauma or money trauma, money makes me uncomfortable. Well, if we do one hypnotherapy session, is it one and done, or am I sent with some homework and need to work on my habits to make sure that the fix is permanent?
The good thing is that I've created my program that there's no homework. A lot of what I've found is that a lot of entrepreneurs and founders don't like homework. They've got their own stuff that they need to do. So once they have their time with me, that's it. So that's the way that I've built it. My program runs over 8 weeks. So in the first session, they're able to see significant changes, but because I'm very thorough, they get me for 8 weeks because other problems and other things may arise that they weren't really aware of or really conscious about what the problem was. So they get me for 8 weeks, and we're really able to get to the root cause of the problem. Each session each week goes for about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
And where can we find out more about you and that program, Karim?
Just visit me. I've got karimboktor.com, or you can have a look at businesslifecoach.com.au, or you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Yeah, I'm everywhere. And I've recently just put up a video about this money block that you were just talking about. That someone was just had money stories in their brain, and they had a subconscious story about money. So unconsciously, he didn't want to be wealthy, which is a big problem for business owners. So we had to really uncover why, and then resolve this challenge for him. And now he's become Sweden's entrepreneur award. So he's got an award for that, and he's booming. His business is actually doing really well.